Good morning, respected ma'am and students. Myself Supriya stand before you to present my topic, and my topic is social organization. As we know, we live in a society, and society comprises of a bond of togetherness and nearness. It consists of a group with different functions and different purposes. So, to understand the term what the social organization it is, let's split into two words. For example, social plus organization. So what does the social mean? Social regards to the society, or it regards to the group of people, and organization regards to the arrangement of a person or part. So now we can understand that social organization is a group of people who are interrelated and interdependent. They are arranged in that kind so that they can achieve a common goal with different functions and different purposes.
Now let's see the definition of social organization according to different writers. According to Duncan Mitchell, social organization means the interdependence of parts, which is an essential characteristic of all enduring collective groups, communities, and societies. According to Leonard Bloom and Philip Schelzink, social organization as the pattern relation of individuals and groups. According to H.M. Johnson, organization refers to an aspect of interaction system.
So friends, I hope you have seen the definition and you have understand it properly. Now, to understand the social organization better, let's have a look on its characteristics. So we'll go point by point, and here the point number 1 is
Group of person.
right now you have seen the first characteristic is group of person. Yes, actually the social itself defines the term group of person. Like
Group
if
of
we are
person.
talking about social organization, it cannot be done with a single individual. It needs a group so that people can interdepend on each other to meet their needs. Now let's move to the point number 2.
Interrelation.
Interrelation with each other means the people who are living in a society, or whatever their group is, they are interrelated with each other. For example, let's take example of a classroom only. In that classroom, we all the students are interrelated with each other, and teacher is also interrelated with them. Even we can take example of a school also. Without student there cannot be teacher, and without teacher and student, what is the role of principal? So hence the two, teacher, student and principal, they all are interrelated. Now let's move to the point number 3.
Interdependency.
Interdependency means the group of people in a society, they are interdependent on each other. To understand it better, let's take example of a hospital. In hospital, the patient is depend on nurse for his care, and the nurses depend on doctor, so that the doctor can prescribe the medication to the patient, so that the nurse can give that medication to the patient. So in this way we can say all three are interdependent on each other. In another example, let's take example of classroom. In a classroom, the students are depend on teacher, and teachers depend on his students. If there will not be any student, then how teacher can teach, and if there will not be teacher, then how student will study. So hence we can say that the person in a group, they are interdependent to each other. So it's a very necessary characteristic, interdependency. Moving to the next point.
Coordination.
To understand the term coordination, let's take example of sports. As we know that the perfect example of coordination are sports. For example, let's take volleyball, relay race. What happens in relay race? Actually, the 4 players are coordinated, so that if any one person fails to run, it will affect the another person. So hence we can say coordination is also necessary for social organization. Let's move to the next point.
Common goal.
To understand common goal, let's take example of a classroom. In a classroom, it comprises of student and teacher. The goal of teacher is to give education, and the goal of student is to take education. So both of them have a common goal, that is education. So we can say that classroom is an example of common goal. Hence it shows it is a characteristic of a social organization. So right now we have seen all the characteristics. Moving to the elements. As we know, social organization is a kind of structure. Actually, it's a kind of social structure. and every structure has its own elements. So we'll look after the elements one by one, moving to the point number 1.
Goal.
To understand goal, let's take example of family. In family, all the members have unity. They perform different functions to achieve a common goal, that is happiness.
Point number 2 is role, status, and position.
As we know, a social organization comprises of different groups. In different groups, each individual has its own status, role, and position. So let's take example of a principal. Actually, principal is a position, and the person who is in the position of principal is it's his own status. Now his role is to administrate and educate the children. So here we can understand all the 3 points: position, status, and role.
Now, fourth point is norms and modes.
For the social organization, there are few norms and modes made in the society. For example, punctuality, regularity, and discipline. There should be regularity in students, punctuality punctuality in teachers, and discipline must be maintained inside and outside the class, so that there should be a kind of organization can be established.
And the last element is sanctions.
In every organization, a system of sanctions is made to follow the rules of organization. For example, if let's take example of a classroom. If students are not doing their work properly, so they should be punished and scolded. Hence, the punishment and scold is function as a sanction. So sanction are made to make the people follow the rules of organization. Moving to the types of social organization, first we have to understand that social organization is a group of people who are interrelated and interdependent and are divided according to their work in different groups. So the types of social organization are as follows. Let's move to the types point by point. Point number 1 is
Political organization.
political organization is a state of social organization that deals with the political matters. It can be rural, it can be urban, it can be state, or it can be nation. Moving to the point number 2.
Economic organization.
Economic organization deals with the productivity and distribution of wealth to increase the capital of a country. Let's take example of a factory. So what happens in factory? Factory produces material concerned with the benefit on the basis of economy.
Now, next type is religious organization.
Any kind of organization is incomplete without religion. In religious organization, people of different groups gather in front of God to gain a mental satisfaction and happiness. They worship that invisible God so that they can gain their self-satisfaction. Example of religious organization are temple, mosque, church, gurudwara, etc.
Next one is financial organization.
Financial organization deals with the money matters of people. People withdraw money from the bank, they deposit their money from the bank. So bank plays a very important role in the financial organization. There are various types of bank: private banks, public banks, private fund organization, and cooperative banks.
Now, next type is educational organization.
Education organization deals by the experts. They work with the non-experts to teach them, to make them educate, so that to make a society literate. It helps in establishment of a society in field of education. In education organization, examples are schools. There are 3 types of schools: high school, primary school, and model public school.
Now, last point is colleges.
Colleges are also necessary for social organization. Colleges can be of different types. It can be of nursing college, medical college, engineering college, college for commerce. Colleges provide the education on the basis of arts, commerce, science, maths. Colleges also provide education to the master's degree. As we have seen all the types of social organization, now here I am ended with my topic. Let's move to the conclusion.
So now we have understand everything. Now it's time to conclude the topic.
So in the starting we studied about the meaning of social organization, then we studied about the definition of social organization, then we studied the characteristics of organization, that were interdependency, interrelation, group of person, common goals, etc. Then we moved to the elements of social organization, that were common goal, role, status and position, sanctions, norms and modes. Then we moved to the types of social organization, that were political organization, economic organization, education organization, financial organization and colleges. Thank you so much.